Greetings in the love and in the light of our infinite prime creator, the divine grid programmer. Namaste, namaskaram. Today, my dragon scepter, my dragon rod, dragon staff, dragon cane, opened a portal to the Goblin Hut. So that's right. This opened the portal to the Goblin Hut. So bear with me while I share this footage of the Goblin Hut to begin to manifest this into your reality. And then I will do my sincerest and most informed attempt to explain what I mean by this statement. Just bear with me, folks. Thank you for your patience. I hope everyone's having a great 11 Lions Portal Day today. Okay, so bear with me here, folks. There we go. Everything's moving smoothly right along. Thank you for your patience. Almost there. Thank you for your patience, folks. By the way, while we're waiting for me to get my technicalities together, this episode of the Aumbonda New Earth Education broadcast is brought to you by Buc-ee. Love that damn little beaver. All right, so what we're looking at here is footage that I took of the Goblin Hut, and I will do my best to explain what I mean by this. So essentially, this is a structure, if you will. It's out along this creek here where I live. There's, of course, there's the Dragon Scepter that I carry with me infrequently, actually. I rarely take out this that staff with me, cane, what have you. It's kind of really like a martial arts thing. But anyway, on my walk this morning, I go out to feed by the creek. I'll usually take some food out to feed, hopefully the hawks, but I imagine the squirrels and raccoons get it, some of it at least, if not all of it. And there was a person walking their dog along the creek bed, and what I mean by this statement, my dragon scepter opened the portal to the Goblin Hut, and that's what the footage of is what's called the Goblin Hut. And there's a journal that the gentleman who told me about the Goblin Hut, he said he left out there, and that this is apparently, this thing is like taking on a life of its own. And the kids come, and it's got like this supernatural sort of, I guess, context to it. He said that journal that he's left out there, like these writings have appeared in it, and of course there could be other explanations, but this is this sort of Goblin Hut, that's what it's called. And there's some of the parts of the hut, and that's my red dragon staff that you see there among the hut. And the reason why I say my dragon scepter opened the portal to the Goblin Hut is because I would have never known about this Goblin Hut, had it not been for that, my dragon scepter. And why I say that is my dragon scepter is how it opened this portal, is because, and this is how we can take like a mystical sounding statement in the third dimensional sort of world, it can have aspects, and that's how I'm trying to explain this from a third dimensional perspective. So on my walk, out there in the creek to, take food to the hawks and raccoons and squirrels and dragonflies and everybody else. This gentleman, we struck up a conversation because he saw, I told him out, when you're strangers out walking in the woods, you don't know what's, anyway. So I broke down. I said, hey, I'm just out here feeding the birds and, I'm bringing them some stuff. And then in the course of talking, I know he was, we were kind of in a hurry. He was doing his thing. I was doing my thing, but he saw this scepter, and I'm quite certain the reason why, because he asked me, he goes, have you been down to the Goblin Hut? And I was like, no, I don't know what. So anyway, my point with all this is that I'm certain that the mere fact that I had this with me, he thought, and this is just purely my speculation, but I think that it was opening a door of communication and an invitation. He's like, and I can just only picture, imagine, maybe what's going through that person's mind. But I think that the mere fact that I had this with me, was something of interest that he felt, that it would be something that I might be interested in. I could only imagine, well, hey, this guy's got this red painted up dragon looking thing. Maybe he might find it of interest to learn about the Goblin Hut. And for sure, certain I did. I was glad to hear about that. It's fascinating to see that kind of activity in the woods, instead of like armed homeless camp. Not to disparage the homeless community, but the woods can be a trepidatious affair. There was a time where I was hearing like 40, 50 gunshots coming from the woods on a weekly basis. So I appreciate the Goblin Hut energy, and and less the circus antics of the third dimension Earth as it dies, as those energies take care of themselves. And the new Earth, the fifth dimensional Earth, is going to be full of goblin huts, dragonfly, aerial displays, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, yeah, you can take it. I could say my Dragon Scepter opened the portal to the Goblin Hut and leave it at that. But in a sense, it did. I believe it opened the portal of communication. The gentleman who told me about where it was located, and I had to go further down the creek, and I had to put on my snake boots because there are snakes out here, and it was a bit of an involvement, for me to come back and get everything together to go and find this Goblin Hut, which was took some effort. I would not have known about it had it been, I believe, for the presence of my Dragon Scepter. So in that sense, my dear esteemed viewer, the Dragon Scepter opened the portal to the Goblin Hut. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Namaste. Namaskaram. Oh yeah, this episode brought to you by Buc-ee. I love that little beaver.